enterprises. Opposition to economic monopolies was part of a broader agenda of dismantling monopolies across all domains of social life. Not just the guilds, but monopolies of church and press, monopolization of the vote by the rich, and monopolization of family power by men. Eliminate monopoly, and far more people would be able to attain personal independence and become masterless men and women. It was only in the 19th century that free market thinking drifted away from its earlier egalitarian moorings. Following Paine, free market thinkers increasingly regarded the state as an abuser of power in the name of special interests. The other cause was the Industrial Revolution. In the 17th and 18th centuries, thinkers such as Leveller John Lilburn and the great political economist Adam Smith assumed that free men operating in free markets would be independent artisans, merchants, or participants in small-scale manufacturing enterprises. Smith's pin factory, which illustrated the division of labor, had 10 employees. Thomas Paine and the American founders, who favored economic as well as political liberty, assumed that the bulk of the population would be self-employed. In late 18th and early 19th century America, free market wages were high, given chronic labor shortages, and self-employment was a ready option for nearly all white men. Thus, it made sense to equate economic liberty, free markets, and independence. Free market egalitarians of old were, moreover, far from doctrinaire libertarians in their policy proposals. Many, like Smith and Paine, advocated public education, and Paine proposed a system of universal social insurance, including old age pensions, survivor benefits, and disability payments for families whose members could not work, as well as a universal system of stakeholder grants. Summing up the free market egalitarianism of the 17th to the mid-19th centuries, Anderson observes that Smith's greatest hope, the hope shared by labor radicals from the Levellers to the Chartists, from Paine to Lincoln, was that freeing up markets would dramatically expand the ranks of the self-employed, who would exercise talent and judgment in governing their own productive activities, independent of micromanaging bosses. The Industrial Revolution dramatically altered the assumptions upon which free market egalitarianism had rested. Economies of scale overwhelmed the economy of small proprietors, and opportunities for self-employment shrank dramatically. It dramatically widened the gulf between employers and employees in manufacturing, and in addition, ranks within the firm multiplied. The radical changes wrought by the Industrial Revolution for most workers, and the consequent mismatch between free market theory and reality, gave rise, says Anderson, to a symbiotic relationship between libertarianism and authoritarianism that blights our political discourse to this day. In her second lecture, Anderson advances her central and most arresting claim, that the modern industrial firm amounts to a system of arbitrary and unaccountable private government and dictatorship. Most workers in the United States are governed by communist dictatorships in their work lives. Usually, those dictatorships have the legal authority to regulate workers' off-hour lives as well. Their political activities, speech, choice of sexual partner, use of recreational drugs, alcohol, smoking, and exercise. Most employers exercise this off-hours authority irregularly, arbitrarily, and without warning. Only about half of U.S. workers enjoy even partial protection of their off-duty speech from employer meddling. Anderson argues that private government exists when people are subject, in some part of their lives, to authorities that can order them around and impose sanctions for noncompliance. In the workplace, moreover, governing authorities have arbitrary and unaccountable power over workers. Libertarians and free market economists and politicians wrongly equate freedom with private enterprise, ignoring the reality that for most workers, employment in large firms brings with it subjection to arbitrary power that extends